Hey guys, in this video we are going to talk about substitution and the core fundamental principles of substitution. So, like many other skills in math, factoring, and all sorts of other things, substitution is based on the idea of equivalence. We know what the equal sign means. What does the equal sign mean? It means that no matter what two things look like, they are exactly the same. We made this thing up in math. We made up this symbol in math to help us because sometimes two things like the number 7 and the number 7 are identical, and so they look similar. But sometimes like M and 7, they don't look similar, but we're going to use this equal sign to tell our reader or whoever sees our math problem, these two things are definitely equivalent. We know this for sure, right? So that's why we use this equal sign, and as part of that, we created this skill of substitution. Right, again, math did not always exist, so we got to think about, why did we create this thing? Sometimes we want to swap out things that are equal in order to help solve or manipulate our problem. So substitution is a skill that only exists because there is an idea of equivalence. If the things are not equivalent, you can't substitute them, obviously, and this principle makes sense to us in our core, right? So if I say to you, hey, you have $6 in, quarters, and I'm going to trade that out for $6 in dollar bills, then you'd be like, yeah, cool, that's like totally awesome, right? And you're like super happy with it. But if I say, actually, you have these $6, but I'm going to replace your $6 with $5, so I'm going to substitute in your $5 for your $6, you're going to say, well, wait a second, give me my other dollar, right? And so we know so deeply and fundamentally that, you have to substitute equal things for equal things. If somebody tried to substitute something unequal for something that we had, we would immediately know, we would feel that it was wrong. But we get into these complex math problems and we kind of freak out and it falls apart. So, thinking of substitution as an easy thing, thinking of substitution as just a visceral thing where you can feel, is it equal? If it's not equal, you can't substitute it. That's the idea that we're going to get at. So, for example, right, if we say x equals 6, yeah, then we can substitute in 6 for x over here. That'll be fine. Anytime the things are equal, we're totally happy and we'll substitute them. So, what is the point of substitution? We are swapping out things that are equal, but they look different. They are different looking. X does not look like 3. Those two things don't even look a little bit similar. They look totally nothing like each other, but we have stated with our equality, our equal sign, that they are equal. And so we use this, right, all the time. You've got this like linear equation. You've seen linear equations. And we're going to say, okay, well, x equals 3, so I want to substitute in 3 for x. Wherever I see an x, I'm going to substitute in a 3. The 3 goes in wherever there's an x. So there's a little x up here, and we're going to substitute in for that one. And this is what we get. Now, obviously, you guys know that you could then multiply and add, and you would get, an answer for this particular question. You could figure out what y equals. That's the end goal. But the point of just substitution is just to do that one thing, just that one step. We say, every time I see an x, I'm going to put it in a 3. I'm going to substitute in a 3 for this x character. And that's what we're doing, right? So, substitute means swap out two things that are equal, but they look different. They're just basically, one goes in for the other, and one takes the place of the other. Like a substitute teacher is just that kind of a thing. One is just getting swapped out for the other one. And let's practice.